Well, 9 countries, 4 continents, 35,000 miles. Tonight on WROC-TVA, we all watched Scottsville's Brennan Swain cross the finish line first in the amazing race.
Brennan and his partner Rob are $1 million richer. We talked to Brennan on the telephone just a little while ago from the back seat of a cab in New York City. First of all, Brennan, congratulations. We know you're in New York City right now. How were you able to keep the secret since April?
Well, it's actually been, it hasn't been that difficult because, I wanted it to be a surprise once the show finally aired, and I wanted everybody to be in anticipation during the entire run of the show and not know what was going to happen at the end.
But you also had a little bit of incentive, right? There was something called a contract that asked you to keep it quiet.
That's right. I had a $10 million liquidated damages clause confidentiality agreement, as us lawyers would call it.
So what are your plans now? $1 million. What are you going to do with $1 million? And by the way, do you and your partner each get $1 million, or do you split it?
We actually split it. So, after they take the taxes out of it, it's still a pretty good chunk of change. But I think the both of us are going to take a little bit of time and see what opportunities come from this. If something comes, we both live in Hollywood, see if any endorsements or any acting gigs or things like that come up. And Rob, he's a writer. He's going to try and pursue some writing opportunities that he has.
And Brennan, your parents are with you in New York tonight. Is that correct?
That's right. They're right in the back seat of the cab.
What was their reaction tonight? Did they know about this beforehand?
They had no idea. My dad, I guess in having confidence in me, has thought all along that we were going to win, but my mom and my brother, who were also with me, had absolutely no idea.
And you will get the big check on the early show on Friday. What do you expect from that?
I don't know. It's going to be hard to deposit an ATM, that's all I can say.
I'll bet it is.
Brennan,
because I know it's going to be one of those big ones.
Brennan, finally, what do you got to say to all your friends and family in the Rochester area?
Actually, everybody in Rochester has been great throughout the entire run of the show. I know I've gotten so much more support there than I even did in Los Angeles, which is where I currently live. And it's been great having everybody get together for parties. I was able to watch a couple episodes there, and the support from both the the newspaper and the Channel 8 and all of the people back in Rochester has been just spectacular.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
And by the way, Brennan was on his way to a party, a celebration, when he called us on his cell phone. And again, he'll get that $1 million check tomorrow on the CBS Early Show.
Tonight, Brennan Swain's family and friends gathered at their usual spot to watch the Amazing Race finale, the Ground Round in Henrietta. Sort of become the Amazing Race gathering spot. Tonight, there was a lot of cheering as Brennan and his friend Rob crossed the finish line.
All those cumulative effects of living in a good town with good people and having a good life. And boy, it paid off big time. And I'm sure hope Rochester's real proud of him, because we certainly are.
This is Uncle Tom.
Yep.
He's been a correspondent for us for so many weeks watching that. So what's it like to race around the world for $1 million?
Now, the last time Brennan Swain was home, he sat down to talk with News 8 Now.
Brennan Swain says the Amazing Race was the experience of a lifetime.
It's funny, I would tell people before the show even aired, when they heard that I was on it, that if it had never made it on television, it still would have been a very worthwhile experience.
He says there were plenty of challenges that were never seen on camera.
The hardest part was just the lack of sleep, along with the lack of food, and just the hours and hours of travel. One of the things that doesn't come across on television is how much travel was really involved. They show us getting on a train, they show us getting off the train. They don't show the 12-hour ride in between, sleeping in India on basically a wooden bench. Those are the things they don't show.
India was the worst.
Dirty, smelly. People aren't in a hurry like we are. We're racing for $1 million. They really don't care. Very few people spoke English.
And every step of the Amazing Race was recorded by a cameraman and soundman we never saw, and they often slowed things down.
They were like your kids. When you got on a bus and there were only 3 seats left, you weren't getting on that bus because you had to buy tickets for your cameraman and your soundman. So everywhere you went, they had to be able to go with you.
Does he miss the cameras?
Actually at first it was kind of weird, because when I travel, you're automatically thinking about that, but I guess not anymore.
And now that it's over,
I would do Amazing Race again in a second.